our studios here at 3 Mama Street, Brookfields. This is how I welcome you to the National News Bulletin File on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. First, the headlines. On Tuesday, September 17, 2019, the Sierra Leone Bar Association has updated media practitioners and members of civil societies on what they describe as lapses in internal security in the recent past, including human rights violations and the rule of law.
We know you can cancel certain for overvoting, but when it comes to election violence, I think it's a lacuna in the electoral laws which must be handled. The investigation is on, and if that is the situation, we condemn that. It's an allegation, and that is being investigated. And after the investigation or the report by the committee, definitely we'll be in a better position to come out with something concrete.
On Monday, 16 September 2019, the National Youth Commission, with support from the African Development Bank, has organized a training for various youth organizations.
It has three components. The components are focusing on really helping young people, especially unemployed graduates, to get job readiness, to be employed. So my component is really about a graduate entrepreneurship program. So we have developed actually a graduate entrepreneurship program, and we are helping other organizations to be trained so that they will be able to help young people to set up their own business.
As a mark of their 120-year celebration, the management of Brookfields Commercial Bank on Monday, 16 September 2019, lit up the bank to illuminate the accomplishments under the new management.
I'm glad the bank for seeing this particular 20th anniversary and 102 years of banking in Sierra Leone. Let's clap for myself. 102 years of banking in Sierra Leone. I believe this is the second oldest bank in Sierra Leone. The first one, Bank of British West Africa. I think later on they changed to Standard Chartered Bank. After that, the Barclays Bank come, then the way they go, Rocket Banking continue. It shows that this particular bank is there, they go, no sign where we go.
The Our Children, Our Future Sierra Leone organization has on September 15, 2019, made a donation of school materials to children residing at the government wharf.
When you educate one picky, you don't educate a nation. If you left all them picky away, so they no need go school. When they grow up, una tell me how they for come out. Bad picking and then go come out. Because we know want them picky up for come out bad. Now that make hook off the step in for make some of the picking the way their parents they know they up there. We talk to them and say, please, try for put this picking school.
The Sierra Leone Red Cross Society has held a day-long simulation exercise on Friday, 13 September 2019 at the Vice President's office at Tower Hill in Freetown.
We're just going to go around and tell people what first aid is, how important it is, why you're supposed to train your employee or yourself or your child in first aid. Because first aid is now even taught in schools, as it has been always. Because when a child knows what to do, then they're able to help their colleagues, the pupils in school before the ambulance arrives.
The Freetown City Council has held the National Primary School Examination Data Conference at Miata Conference Hall on Thursday, 12 September 2019.
All authorities will first be required to meet the stipulated minimum standards before being allowed to set up higher standards than the minimum standards. The first set of minimum standards targets are ready and will be distributed to the various councils through their leadership.
All this, including sports, will be part of the bulletin. It's now time we go in for the news in detail with me, Sienna Wright. The Sierra Leone Bar Association has on Tuesday, September 17, 2019, updated media practitioners and members of civil societies on what they describe as lapses in internal security in the recent past, including human rights violation and the rule of law at the Harry Yamson Hall in Freetown. Julian Kuroma was in attendance and he filed in this report.
Robert Kawa, president of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, gave an overview on the composition of the executive, adding that the association, however, highlighted some disturbing trends in the areas of human rights abuse, lapses in the state internal security, and the spate of violence countrywide.
Personally, we discuss with them and we make our contribution and see how best these issues can be handled. As an association and an executive, we are yet to face the problems you are talking about. Most of those we've been engaging are very receptive and we've seen a lot of changes. The Bar Association is still dialoguing with NEC and as you've heard from the press briefing, as to support their position in cancelling elections. However, we are not interpreting the laws. The Supreme Court is there to interpret the law. And what we are saying is that the election rules, we are yet to see where such provisions are. We know you can cancel for overvoting, but when it comes to election violence, I think it's a lacuna in the electoral laws, which must be handled. The investigation is on. And if that is the situation, we condemn that. It's an allegation and that is being investigated. And after the investigation or the report by the committee, definitely we'll be in a better position to come out with something concrete. But the allegations, I think if it is true, then it is wrong. The days of violence are over.
He cited also the beating of female journalists during the international football encounter between Lone Stars of Liberia and Leone Star of Sierra Leone, allegedly by the bodyguards of President Julius Maada Bio, for which he says the association is currently looking. Present during the news conference were representatives from the National Electoral Commission, NEC, Office of the National Security, ONS, and the Director of Operation at the Anti-Corruption Commission, who were questioned by journalists on their statutory mandate in maintaining peace and order, including the cancellation of the rerun election in the constituency 110 by the National Electoral Commission.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of Mama Fadi Conte and the Board of Commissioners, we cannot give account of an election that's erupted in violence, chaos and anarchy. Let us talk to the political parties. Let them comport themselves in the best manner. Whether you are rats or we don't care. If there is confusion in this school and we want to conduct election, we will take our property. There is chance to take it. If not, we run away. We are not going to police ourselves. The security apparatus are responsible to provide adequate security and to regulate the affairs of political parties. It is not our terms of reference. We are also not responsible for that.
For now, we may not want to get these investigations because there are ongoing investigations into all of those developments. Some of them are even in court as we speak. And as the lawyers say, they are sub judice and we cannot speak on them. We cannot go into them. We cannot go into details about them. But then we keep them in active view. We are as much concerned about them and we are as much interested in them as you are. We await.
The commissioner and his team are more than ever before very determined to actually ensure that the assignment that is being given us by you, whose monies are used to pay us, will carry them out to the best of our ability and our capabilities. You may have heard of a more recent raid that was carried out on Saturday.
It could be recalled that the Sierra Leone Bar Association, since elected on the 6th July 2019 as part of their statutory responsibility, are yearning for a formidable and consultative bar that will strategically position itself to address not only issues affecting its membership, but also those of national concerns. Robert Kawa, president of the bar, committed in upholding the rule of law and to build a formative relationship with the Sierra Leone judiciary. Reporting for Star TV, I am Julie.
The National Youth Commission, with support from the African Development Bank, has on Monday, 16th September 2019, organized a training for various youth organizations with the theme Youth Entrepreneurship and Employment Program at the Global Youth Network for Empowerment and Development of Tengbetown, Freetown. Alfie Barry has more.
Youth empowerment has been a major problem for successive governments, as every year, tertiary institutions dole out hundreds of graduates, and many of which lack the requisite skills to fit into the current job market. Therefore, many of them remain job seekers for many years. In order to curb this lingering problem, the National Youth Commission has organized a 5-day training for various youth groups drawn across the country. The aim of the training is to improve youth employability by empowering them with relevant skills required in the job market. Richard Yeboah is the consultant of the YEP program. He spoke more.
Program actually set up by the National Youth Commission to combat unemployment among young people. And so it has 3 components. The components are focusing on really helping young people, especially unemployed graduates, to get job readiness, to be employed. So my component is really about a graduate entrepreneurship program. So we have developed actually a graduate entrepreneurship program, and we are helping other organizations to be trained so that they will be able to help young people to set up their own business. So we are actually in the same process. The first thing that we did is we selected organizations that are already working with the National Youth Commission and who are skilled in entrepreneurship development. And so now today is the coming week is really about the trainer program, where we are training the organization staff to be able to support these young people.
These various youth groups are expected at the end of training to establish their own business model and involve other youth, as according to the consultants, they will be monitored over time as to whether they will implement these ideas that they have been taught. Melvina English is one of the participants and also representing African Foundation for Development, Sierra Leone. She lauded the commission for such venture. What is she expected to take out of this training?
This is the start, and we are here to learn new things. As the facilitator Richard rightly said, the BDS sector, the ecosystem, everybody has his own methodology. But with specific to this HIP program, they want something that is going to be generic in all areas, that is Makeni, Kenema and Freetown, where they are doing the pilot phase. So we are here to learn new methodologies, and we are sure that we are going to learn and try to implement it to these students, wherein they can change their mindset of being job seekers and job creators, and it will help in the development of Sierra Leone in the long run.
This program is just a pilot program, as at the end of this project, the various participants will put forward their various business models, and they will be assessed by the Commission, and the necessary support will be given. For Star TV News, compiled by Alfie Barry, I am Alice Pierre reporting.
As a mark of their 120-year celebration since the establishment of the bank via its transition from Barclays to Rokel Commercial Bank, the management of the bank on Monday, 16th September 2019, lit up the bank to illuminate the accomplishments under the new management of Dr. Ekundayo Walton Gilpin, from a loss-making to a profit-making bank. Here is more.
Okay with that? You know, when they talk about 20 years, and just they turn back and see them in Lily Bobo, when at 20 years,
I see saying a big man. Now they will eat fair for me now. That's all okay, don't answer. 20 years of excellence, 20 years of economic support to this nation. Because when they pay big tax to government too. 20 years of employment. You know how many people that work in commercial bank are employed in 20 years? Apart from that, he said 20 years. You know how much non-person will pocket them, that will post them? Then are plenty billion. So may God bless Roque Commercial Bank. Amen. May God make Roque Commercial Bank continue for shine. Amen. And shine. Amen. May God make all the witnesses anniversary. We must celebrate until 25 years, 30 years. But the prayer is, we are always Timapia. Before that 25 years they reach, we are all go down there, we are keep them in Jesus' name. And one thing, before we reach that 25, now that the banking industry, we say we there with Tawa, we are there with the rubber. We there number 2, now number 2 really. So tell them we can go near number 1, but now number 2 we there. But me not say come next year. And by God in your support, Roque Commercial Bank will be number 1.
So for us here today, we're really happy to be here. I must say, I'm glad for seeing this particular 20th anniversary and 102 years of banking in Sierra Leone. Let's clap for myself. 102 years of banking in Sierra Leone. I believe this is the second oldest bank in Sierra Leone. The first one, Bank of British West Africa. I think later on they changed to Standard Chartered Bank. After that, the Barclays Bank come, then they went and go, Roque Bank in continue. It shows that this particular bank is there they go, no sign where we go. And me, I've been there where the bank begin. 102 years ago. Me, I walk down the road. And I can tell you that it's not the eye meeting upset. But the bottom line is that today, who they are? Who they are? Who they are? And we will continue for the there. Let this bank grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. You know, when they look around the banking sector inside this country, now banking sector where you get a good possibility, but they don't really sleep. If they make like a soap leopard. Today, one leopard will wake up. What's the leopard name? High name. High name. And no man knows say this bank in the Tawapa people. When they ask any bank today, say, tell me who's the competitor. Whose bank are they call? Because now we are the competitor for everybody else. And I can tell them, say, we just begin. They're not hearing nothing, not seeing nothing yet. But God in power, we get in the world, get inside, we sleep, they will hide. Which man call an ace up your sleeve. They don't say ace your sleeve, he say ace, ACE. Because the man has spy for getting paper. So I read better again. The president said on this with the spy. Roque Bank for the spy. When they get with ace, ACE up with sleeve. That means the way they play card, that is an important card. You get them. We are the spy when they get commercial bank.
The Our Children, Our Future Sierra Leone organization has on September 15, 2019 made a donation of school materials to children residing at the government wharf. The donation is aimed at elevating the suffering of children living in slum communities. Yessie Hallowell reports.
Our Children, Our Future Sierra Leone organization, OCOF, has been in existence since 2018 with the motto, We Are the World, giving a helping hand to the poor and needy living in slum communities. The program manager, Action for Women and Children Sierra Leone, Yusuf Mansare, while making a statement, said education in Sierra Leone has drained, and it is as a result of parents not paying attention to their children's schoolwork.
Education they go down as alone. But now look, and they call 5 or 6 people them, now we see who that for blame. The teachers, the government, they begin themselves, information technology, then plus we, the parent them, who that for blame. when you check that particular statement, then you go know say we all get beat and beat and beat and beat for contribute for make sure say the education come back to the status we want. For example, the teacher and they do their work, they normal 4 to 8 hours when they get in school, when they go and they teach. But when they begin and come back in the house, the parents and they left them and they film from January to December. How the begin go learn? So it means we say get fault. We the parents and we for tell you begin say, what you go do in school? Last year, can't you don't let study? Whether you learn or not learn, first it begin for making study. You don't go say you the teacher for left the school for come back for can't tell you begin the house for making study. No. You go meet some parents there, then sit down with the begin there, then they watch film there, especially the Italian film there when they don't come, where you don't get ending. The films they don't get ending. You go find out say, then they sit down, they look season 1, season 2, season 3, and so they left the direct you tell season 99. Who's there you go down now? Then the producer there, they will drag you for carry go. Why the picking they forget the normal lessons them when they don't teach it in a school, where they're supposed for the look. Some picking they go explain them feature film there, they go explain them film there from the beginning to the ending. But if you tell and say for read one comprehension sentence from beginning to end, you're not going able because you not practice in a house. So let's look at this particular idea that when education they go on done as alone, we not for blame one person.
Tutu Bailey, Executive Director at Children Are Future Sierra Leone organization, stated that the organization is not just for children, but also looks into the affairs of women, as women play a great role in the home.
And for tell una say, I get passion for waiting and they do so. This organization built upon passion. And not like fussy picking the street. Me na a teacher. Na me school. Picking and they come. Auntie, I don't have lunch. I dey put me money in my bag. I give them. While some they expect them pick up for give them. Me like for give picking them. Why? Because na a passion. It dey inside me. I just want to bring we back for let we know say this organization not till today is start. This organization don't start way back since 2018. We don't they do with small thing then with small corner. They go Kube, we go do small thing there. Quiet one. We not they announce a same organization. So una get the opportunity for make this organization get down at today and una know say this kind of organization day and it they exist.
Reporting for Star News, I am Yessi Hallowell.
The Sierra Leone Red Cross Society has held a day-long simulation exercise on Friday, 13th September 2019 at the Vice President's office at Tower Hill in Freetown. The simulation exercise is aimed at creating awareness as to how the public should respond to emergency cases. Hassan Kuruma has more.
The Sierra Leone Red Cross Society has held a day-long simulation exercise on Friday, 13 September 2019 at the Vice President's office on Tower Hill in Freetown. The simulation exercise is aimed at creating awareness as to how the public should respond to emergency cases. Following different demonstrations, Madam Martha Abu, the First Aid Training and Marketing Manager, noted that the notion of the exercise is to have build-up for the International Red Cross Day and also help save lives.
The demonstration was the most important thing we chose to let people know about. Because you don't know what is going to happen to you. You might be on your desk reporting news and you might just go to the ground, unconscious. Few things might be happening. The airway is blocked, your heart is not switched on because the heart has to be on us all the time to pump the blood all over the body. So if it goes off, somebody has to be there to restart the heart. That is what we did. So we just taught people how to restart the heart because in what they do in the heart, what makes the heart move? It's electric current, if I can say it for a simple term. So when they say we're going to measure the ECG, they're going to do somebody's ECG in medicine. It means we're going to measure the electrical activity of this person's heart. So what happens? This powerhouse of this person's heart goes off when they go to the ground. So the demonstration you saw is a way of restarting the generator to come on again so that this person's brain cells will be saved.
She also emphasized that first aid is now not being taught in schools like before, adding that when a child knows what to do in terms of emergency, that will save lives.
We're going to be the same simulations we did here. We're going to do at strategic locations in Freetown. One of those locations are going to be the PZ Runabout, and the other location will be the Aberdeen and the Congo Cross and so many other places. We're just going to go around and tell people what first aid is, how important it is, why you're supposed to train your employee or yourself or your child in first aid. Because first aid is now even taught in schools, as it has been always. Because when a child knows what to do, then they're able to help their colleagues, the pupils in school before the ambulance arrives. So we are going to tell the Sierra Leoneans tomorrow how to do certain things. We're going to do the same thing we did, and we'll do some other things in some other locations, just to send a message out, just to bring people on board the Sierra Leone Red Cross.
Sierra Leone Red Cross Society was established in 1962 by an Act of Parliament of Sierra Leone and is a national society. The Sierra Leone Red Cross Society is to render medical and humanitarian assistance to the armed forces and citizens of Sierra Leone during times of conflict, disaster, or humanitarian crisis. The Red Cross Society played a major part in containing and managing the Ebola crisis and in recovery operation from 2014 to 2016. In 2012, the Sierra Leone Red Cross Society Act was passed. Section 5, subsection 2 of the Act states the government shall provide subventions to the society. But the obvious question is, has those subventions been provided to the Sierra Leone Red Cross Society? Reporting for Star News in Freetown, Hassan Koroma reporting.
You're still with the National News Bulletin File on Star Television Network on Channel 21, and the Freetown City Council has held the National Primary School Examination Data Conference at Miata Conference Hall on Thursday, 12 September 2019, led by Research Management Solutions, which is aimed at reducing the numerous challenges the pupils face in public examinations. Moses Ojukumara has the detail.
The admin officer, WAEC Philip Nyandemo, said that the Gathering Data Conference is an indication that indeed the fight for quality service and assessment in education is not only left with the West African Examination Council. Mr. Nyandemo added that the government's priority on quality education is quality assessment of learners. He concluded by applauding the Freetown City Council for the process of gathering data to better understand the strengths and weaknesses of pupils' learning.
WAEC therefore welcomes the idea and is more than ready to provide whatever necessary information the FCC needs in order to transform education in the Freetown municipality. Notwithstanding, WAEC also recognizes the important role FCC always plays in the conduct of MPLC. The role of FCC has become a fundamental economic activity and over the years has helped WAEC to compete with member countries in all aspects of its operations. I must heartily congratulate you for that and crave your indulgence to continue the good job.
The Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Alpha Usman Timbo, in his speech said that the council, wanting to take control of children's learning aspects in its schools, is encouraging and is a reflection of his thoughts on local authorities taking greater ownership and responsibility for what happens in their area.
While my ministry will set national minimum targets and standards, local authorities may set their standards even higher than we do because we are dealing with the national landscape. But we have to ensure that we work towards meeting the standards that we set. So we'll be talking what we are going to do. All authorities will first be required to meet the stipulated minimum standards before being allowed to set up higher standards than the minimum standards. The first set of minimum standards targets are ready and will be distributed to the various councils through their leadership.
The UNICEF representative Celeste Stanley, in her submission, said that children are Sierra Leone's most important asset in building a better future. She stated that the successful development of a nation requires skilled and educated people. Therefore, it is imperative to invest in quality education to make sure that the children possess the necessary skills and knowledge to responsibly move the country forward.
Ensuring inclusive quality education for all children. Results from the annual school census show that last year there were about 2 million children that had access to basic education. This indicates that most children in Sierra Leone are in school. UNICEF continues to support the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education to ensure that these children have access to quality education. With important funding from the Global Partnership for Education,
the mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, intimated that education is fundamental to the transformation of our city. However, it is one of the 11 priority sectors under the 4 clusters in the Transform Freetown Plan for Human Development. The mayor furthered that the education sector is not only interconnected with the other sectors in the plan to transform the municipality, but forms the foundation for the future of our city.
We've set 2 targets. The first of our targets, target 1, is to ensure that by 2022, 100% of the schools for which the Freetown City Council has responsibility has in place a monitoring framework that includes monitoring teaching, learning, and safety standards. Our second target is to ensure that by 2022, 100% of school children in the municipality can take public exams in a transparent and credible, under transparent and credible conditions. So that's our target, our second target, very closely linked to the first.
Reporting for Star News, I am Moses Oju Kamara.
And now to round up the news sports. So let's join our sports correspondent Hilton John for some sporting updates.
Hello everyone, welcome for today's sporting news. We start to look and see it's a good news within our football family. For the first time in history, Sierra Leone Football Association, in support of the government, we host a national female competition, a West African Union competition supported by CAF and FIFA. It could be recalled that Sierra Leone got the opportunity last year in November to host the under-17 female competition, but they were stopped after we saw the intervention of the government of Sierra Leone through the Anti-Corruption Commission, suspended the sitting president Aisha Yuantin and Christopher Kamara. Another opportunity has been given now to Sierra Leone to host a female Wafu competition that will kickstart the first week of December 2019. Ibrahim Kamara is the public relations officer of the Football Association. He explained more about the importance of this competition to the country. Here is the report.
The West African Football Union WAFU, in a letter sent into the Sierra Leone Football Association dated the 14th of September 2019, confirms that the zonal female football tournament for senior national teams to be hosted in Sierra Leone will take place on Friday, December 13 to Sunday, December 22, 2019. The tournament slated for last year was terminated due to FIFA's suspension of all international football-related activities of Sierra Leone because of government interference through the Anti-Corruption Commission. The competition, according to the public relations officer of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Ibrahim Kamara, will be hosted in Bo, Kenema, and in Makeni. These are the identified venues for the competition. 10 teams will qualify or compete in this first edition. Ibrahim Kamara, public relations officer of the Football Association, explained more about the importance of this competition.
Yes, that's for the national female senior teams. About 9 to 10 of them will converge in Sierra Leone. We were supposed to have held this WAFU tournament. At first, it was supposed to have been the under-17 female tournament. That was that we were planning to host. You know, I mean, it was supposed to have been hosted last year in November, but because of the suspension, that was cancelled. But Madam President, you know, even during the suspension, was very much in touch with WAFU, you know, to try to get them to be a little patient with us, you know, because WAFU was trying to give the rights to host the tournament to another country, you know, but because of Madam President, you know, she was constantly engaging WAFU, you know, to exercise a little bit more patience with us and all of that. So now after the suspension, she went straight to FIFA. Well, this was during the FIFA Congress actually in France. She spoke to the executive committee of WAFU that the suspension has been lifted over us, you know, and, you know, asked them to bring back the tournament. And in fact, it's been brought back. And now it's not just the WAFU female under 17, but the WAFU female senior teams. It's now for the national female teams. And we've received, the most recent correspondence we received from WAFU came in on the 14th of this month, of September 2019. And in that correspondence, WAFU has confirmed the specific dates for the tournament. And they've said the tournament is going to take place, you know, in Sierra Leone. It's going to start from the 13th, that is Friday the 13th of December 2019. It will last until, you know, Sunday the 22nd of December 2019. So yes, those dates have been confirmed, and you know, the venues, you know, had been identified jointly between the Sierra Leone Football Association and WAFU. I mean, the venues on which the tournament will be hosted. I mean, the host cities will be Makeni, Bo, and Kenema. You know, but we're still having problems actually with the Kenema artificial turf. The installation is yet to be completed. So if it's not completed, you know, until that time, we'll definitely use just two venues, which will be obviously Bo and Makeni.
It could be recalled that this is one of the opportunities Sierra Leone squandered last year when the country was suspended to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Football Association head Aisha Yuantin and Christopher Kamara are looking for more opportunities from FIFA and CAF. For Star Sports in Freetown, I am Milton John reporting. We hope that the Football Association will present a better female team that will represent the country in this first edition WAFU competition. The Potafa Inter-Community Football Competition at the Schoolyard Community Playing Ground will kick-started semi-finals on Wednesday. Defending champion Benjamin Lane, unbeatable in the competition since last season, will play their neighbor John Lane. The first leg of the semi-finals will be staged on Wednesday, and the second leg will be St. Pratt Invaders, who will be coming up against Atta Base on Thursday. As part of their 20-year celebration, Rokel Commercial Bank will play against the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank on Saturday at the Football Academy. Reverend Crispin Williams explained more about the importance of this friendly match on Saturday between Rokel Commercial Bank and the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank.
Well, it symbolizes and signifies the relationship we have with our sister bank. We never leave them behind. I mean, in as much as we are competitors, but I mean, we are, of the same nationality. We would always recognize and respect their work and contribution to national development, such as ourselves, and we would give them first consideration when it comes to, celebrating an important milestone like this one. And so we saw it fit that we should have Sierra Leone Commercial Bank as our competitors for this football match. Plus, of course, the fact that you would pick on somebody you can easily defeat in a competition to drive the effect home public.
You have a better team to play against your opponent?
We have a better reason to win.
So what the public will be expecting on Saturday?
I am sure the public will be expecting, firstly, fair play. They'll be expecting to see two brothers on the pitch, competing in a friendly and loving manner. And in such a situation, I put my political hat on. In such a situation, nobody loses, no matter what the score.
You have prizes and medal at the end of the competition or trophies?
Definitely there will be trophies, and then everybody will be recognized.
Congratulations to the management of Gokel Commercial Bank, headed by Dr. Ekundayo Watson Gilpin. 20 years in existence in a good management. Congratulations once more to staff and the managing director.
Thank you very much, Hilton, for that sporting update. Well, that's all we have time for in the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching, and do stay with us for more programs coming up.